Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Central and 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay. So you definitely want to make sure that you put it in your calendar or you set your alarm. Just make sure that you are plugging in. Plugging in is a big part of how we're able to have success in this industry. Okay. And for those of you who may or may not know who I am, my name is Miss Nikki Alexandria, and I am just your host for today's call. I have the absolute pleasure of being able to introduce our trainer for this morning. And this is someone that I met 10 years ago, partnered with him in business. And when I met him, he was a complete stranger. And the one thing that he was able to offer me that I've never been able to be offered in any other company that I was in previously was leadership. Okay. So when I tell you this gentleman knows how to build this business, he knows the information, he knows how to go from 1 to 1,000. Okay. Just actually doing what we call a system, right? Having a system in place for everybody to win. And we say that system stands for save yourself some time, energy, and money. Now, this gentleman is originally from the Bronx in New York, very humble beginnings, okay? A high school graduate, a blue collar worker, former U.S. paratrooper who made a decision that he wanted something more for himself and family and went on to become a highly successful serial entrepreneur, coach, mentor, and speaker, literally mentoring and coaching and training people all around the world, like seriously all around the world. And I'm super excited that he is with us this morning. Okay. So guys, what I want you to do is get your pen and your notebook ready to take notes because you definitely don't want to miss anything as I bring to the line none other than Mr. Jason L. Scott the first. Mr. Scott, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, young lady, I'm absolutely in line. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you and hear you. Go ahead and take it away.
Excellent, excellent. Listen, I'm always super elated to have you on the call. You know, you're such an amazing business partner, coach, mentor to people all around the world. Yourself, you know, from the very beginning of you getting involved with this industry, you were hungry. One of the first things that we talked about, like you said, was leadership. When I asked you, have you ever had a chance to be connected to the right leadership, not just a company, but the right leadership? And after that conversation, you know, we talked about what leadership meant and what you have to do in order to become one and how you got to follow those notes and take notes and implement them. And all the things that we talked about, you went from being an amazing mentee to being an amazing mentor and traveling all around the world yourself and building organizations and teams of people. So I'm super excited for you. All the results that you're having, the people that you've been sponsoring absolutely love you. They love the way you coach, the way you work, the way you teach them. So congratulations to all your success as well. So thank you so much. And everybody else on the call, welcome, welcome, welcome to our rebirth, our rebirth call, guys, that we do each and every Saturday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, guys, 10 o'clock Central Time. Each and every Saturday we do this call. So make sure you have your people on to this call because there's several things that we do on this call. One, of course, we do recognition and then we go into some training. So it's important, since we do recognition, you want people to be recognized for the work that they have done for the entire week. And that's always an important thing, guys, because they say recognition, men die for it, babies cry for it, and people will do all they can do to be recognized. And sometimes just that little bit of recognition that you give to somebody can go a long way to help them feel what they need to feel in order for them to continue on with their journey. One thing I understood this, guys, is that when it comes to working, when it comes to building, confidence comes from accomplishments. Write that down. Confidence comes from accomplishments. And when people start to accomplish a thing, they start to get excited about that thing. They start to feel better about that thing. But then when they get recognized for that same thing, it literally becomes a game changer for people. So before we absolutely get to any training of anything for today, if you're on this call right now, first of all, get your energy up, get your energy up, get your energy up, get your vibration up, get your vibration up, get your energy up. What's going on, Mary Green? What's going on, Rebecca? Get your energy up, get your vibration up, raise your elevation, raise that energy. Yes, get yourself ready for the next, because that's the state of mind that you want to be in as we start to recognize the people who have done some great things. So I may need a few of you guys on the line to help me bring people to the forefront if you're looking for those people. So let me remove my own spotlight for the moment so we can see if we find some people. But I know when people get involved in this company, guys, the first thing we start talking to people about, of course, is sales. Then we start talking about becoming binary qualified. All right. Matter of fact, binary qualifications are important as well. You know, because that actually the first position that people absolutely get that starts to open up all the ways you get paid in the compensation is getting binary. That means the person that you personally sponsor on the left, Christian Walker, and the person you sponsor on the right side. So anyone who is binary qualified, who got binary qualified, if they're on this call, I want you to unmute yourself and just tell me, you know, just tell me your name and the two people that you have sponsored to get your binary qualification. That's all we want at this moment right now. But if you have absolutely gotten binary qualifications knocked out, this is your time. Or if somebody on your team has done it and they're not here right now, you can absolutely speak on their behalf as well. Do I have any people on this call that have gotten binary qualified this week right here, guys? That's my 11:11 alarm right here.
I am so happy and grateful now. Wish. It's 11:11 a.m.
It reminds me each and every 11:11. It reminds me so happy, so grateful now.
Yeah.
Now that I am. Now that I am. Now that I am. That's just my own personal reminder, guys, for me to remind myself to be happy and grateful every single day at 11:11. So anybody who's binary qualified, let me know. And open your mics if you are.
This is Rebecca, and I am binary qualified as of this week with D and Mark.
Good stuff, Rebecca. Binary qualification, congratulations, Rebecca. Binary qualifications, young lady. I'm super excited for you. You know, we've had some conversations, you know, and we've had some real talks at times, but it's great to know that you have literally absolutely rocked that out. That is the very beginning. I see you, girl. I see you. Look at this. Look at that confidence that has come from that accomplishment. I see it on you, girl. I see it. Good stuff. Thank you so much, lady. Anybody else who have hit that rank of binary qualification? Anybody else got binary qualified? Open your mics. Or if you got someone on your team that has, let me know that as well.
Hey, Jason, this is Tay. I had Chatina Frazier. Hey, I had Chatina Frazier from my team actually go binary qualified. I believe she might be at work, so she might not be tapped in right now. But I just wanted to shout her out. She just returned back to the business, really an OG, and she made it happen. So congratulations, Chatina. We'll screenshot this so you know that you're edified on this call for going binary qualified. Thanks.
Good stuff, Tay. And that's what I would make sure you screenshot that, girl. Matter of fact, make sure you record that so she understands that we are showing her love for that binary qualification right there. So congratulations, young lady, for getting your 2. All right. And as we will tell people, we just start with 2. We don't end with 2. It's not 1 and you're done and 2 and you're through, but 2 absolutely opens the door, guys. It opens the waterfalls for everything else that happens as well. Thank you so much for that, Tay. Anybody else?
Miss Latasha Wap Williams out of Orlando, Florida. I want to congratulate Sheikah Carter out of Atlanta, Georgia. She's not on today, but congratulations on your binary qualification.
Congratulations, Ms. Carter. Congratulations on your binary. Got your 2, and I know you're not through as well. So congratulations. Congratulations to you as well. Latasha Watt Williams as well. Congratulations. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else who is binary qualified? Okay, great. Let's go ahead and go into apprentice. Do we have any brand new apprentices that we actually created this past week? If you or somebody in your organization is an apprentice, make sure you open your mic and let's get to that. Let's get to it. Okay, so we're going right on into the next. If we have people on this call that have hit the rank of director this week right here, then I want to make sure that you guys have an opportunity. Director apprentice is 500 in volume. For those of you who are brand new in the organization, we got to always remember, everybody doesn't always know. Binary is one person on the left, one person on the right. Apprentice is when you absolutely work with those people that you have and generate 500 in volume points on the left, 500 in volume points onto the right side. And then director is our first corporate position where you absolutely get your first pay raise. All right. So when you go from 10% to 12% in what you create in the binary, that's generating 1,000 in business volume on the left and 1,000 in business volume on the right with you and your organization. So do we have any brand new directors on the call today? Or anybody in your organization? If we do, let me know. Okay, and we're moving on. All right, so do we have any other rising stars or executives that was generated or created, guys, this past week right here? If you have, Open your mics and let me know. Any rising stars or any executive directors that was generated and created in this past week? Okay, do me a favor, guys. Do me a favor, everybody, into the chat groups, into the chat, put some stars, put some fires, put some love, put some hearts. Just show some love to everybody who absolutely was able to have some results in the organization this week. Now, this is the deal, guys. I recognize a few things, right, for me. That's why, you know, having this call today was important for me as well. You know, when Twyla asked, was I available? He actually asked a couple of us were we available, so it wasn't like it was just an exclusive ask. She wanted to know if we were available. Myself and a couple other people responded, and I actually drew the straw for me to do the call today. But one thing I've always understood is this: write this down. You must learn to keep your finger on the pulse of the organization. Keep your finger on the pulse of the organization. It's kind of like when somebody is when you're absolutely at your, but let's say if you go to the hospital, go to the doctor, they're going to run your vital signs. If something has happened, if you're unconscious on the floor or something, they're going to check for your pulse, or they may check for your pulse. They want to see if it's running rampant or if it's okay. They're going to be checking, all right? These vital signs are things they're checking for. So it's important that you yourself understand when you're doing trainings and you're working with people, even though there's a lot of things we can talk about, a lot of things we can train on, many things that when you're keeping your finger on the pulse or the organization, you're keeping your finger on, you're paying attention to what's happening. There's always a psychology of what's going on and certain things that's happening. But I need you guys to know that when we first joined as the Rebirth, right? We joined, everybody was excited. And through that excitement, many people joined the organization. Many people came on board fast. They came on board quickly. And I've learned a long time ago, one of my mentors told me a long time ago, you can put 1,000 or a couple of thousand people into an organization quickly, just off of hype. Hype can get the people in, but systems and strategies and things can get them, can keep moving them along. So we got to write this down, learn to get them in, keep them in, and then move them along. Get them in, keep them in, and move them along. So once you get them in, you gotta put things in place to help keep them in, which is why we tell people to use their products and fall in love with the products and become a product of the product. Because we want to, these things will keep them in, or also help them become binary qualified, help them have some income or activity. Write that down. Help people create some income or activity. When people actually can see some income or activity, it keeps them in a little bit longer. It keeps them going on a little bit longer. Now, all these things going to be the end all of end all? No, because most people just going to do what they do. Most people going to quit everything that they get started in. And this is important that we understand, because most people quit everything they get started in. You have to decide that this will be the one thing that you don't quit. This has to be the one thing that you decide you're going to draw the line, you're going to step across, and you're not going to go back. And no matter what happens, who shows up, no matter what comes along your way, you're not going to let nobody trick you out your spot. This is the thing I want you guys to understand. Momentum is the hardest thing to build. Write that down. Momentum is the hardest thing to build, but the easiest thing to lose. Momentum is the hardest thing to build. I'm saying because even though we're working as Rebirth, think about your own personal organization, because we are a part of the bigger organization, right? We're all a part of the bigger organization. And because we're all a part of the bigger organization, inside the big organization are the individuals. Write this down. Network marketing is a lot of people doing a little bit. And because we know that we have a lot of people that we're doing a little bit with, we have to learn to work with the people who are doing a little bit. And of course, the little bit becomes a lot more. But the overall Rebirth, we see the overall team of what's happening. But after you look at the big organization and group, you got to ask yourself, what are you doing? What are you and your organization and team bringing to the table? So building momentum and grabbing your people up quickly and helping people have some income or activity really quickly is really important. One of the things that I've always gotten good at is working with people pretty fast, because I understand there's several things that works in the psychology of people. In the US here, people here in the US, we tend to think about bills and checks week to week. Daily things, of course, but week to week. That means most of us who get a paycheck, we're normally used to a paycheck week to week. And because people are used to weekly paychecks, you have to ensure and work with your person in that first week to help them get a paycheck. Write that down. your most important thing is to help somebody get a paycheck when they first get started. All right. When a person gets their paycheck, because like every other job that we have had, I've been there. I know what it's like that you can't wait for a paycheck. You ask somebody, when's my first check coming? When you first get a first job, you ain't want to know how much you're making, but you want to know, when am I get my first paycheck? Because you want to get your paycheck, because in your mindset, when you get your paycheck, now you can call some of these creditors, get them off your back. You know what's coming next. You can plan things out, because I come from a background of poverty, and poverty has its own self-perpetuating logic. You used to robbing Peter to pay Paul, moving things around all the time, that you don't ultimately see a long-term goal, long-term planning. You're just trying to figure out how to survive day to day. So because of that, because I understand that, I think, okay, let me help get this person some income that they can actually start to believe a little bit more. Because belief is a muscle. Write that down. Belief is a muscle, and you have to learn to exercise that muscle. So when you're working with somebody, when a person first joins, they join because they have some level of hope. But hope is the only thing that's stronger than fear. And fear is the most difficult thing to overcome, because we've been hardwired to remember fear best. And because belief is a muscle, you have to learn to exercise that muscle so you can believe more, that you can stay around more. You can actually start to focus on personal development, personal growth, all these things that we have. But the first level of that belief is if they see income or activity, all right? Income or activity. That's why I always work with somebody to make sure they get income and activity. Because if they see a paycheck coming and their mindset is working. Then when somebody says to them, how I know this working? I already got a paycheck. They can literally say they made some money already. It just does something for the person. But also when they see activity, activity could be the fact that you did a call with them. The person saw somebody said, get back at me on Friday, call me back on Thursday, I'll join next week, Tuesday. In their mindset, that's some activity. So because they got activity, you got to still work with them before that time, because we know that most people who tell you they're going to do a thing, Rebecca, they lying. They ain't going to do it. That most people, girl, Rebecca, you know me, girl. I got you. Matter of fact, call me on Friday. Matter of fact, call me on Friday at 8 o'clock. Because you know how we get down, girl. Call me at 8 o'clock. I got you right then. I promise. That joker lying. That joker not going to answer the call. They're not gonna call you back. It's just what it is. It's okay. It's okay. Most people just do that. They'll tell you how to do it. So, but the thing is this: when you already know that's what it is, you learn to focus on your purpose, not the outcome. Write that down. I want you to focus on your purpose, not the outcome. The outcome is when a person who's in the business, they're focused on the outcome. And because we say it all the time that people join 2 times. The first time they join is when they put in that code and they bought that product and they're like, I'm in. But the second time they join is when it goes from their head to their heart. And many of us on this call, we have not allowed the business to get into our hearts yet. And some of us on this call have. That's why we're on this call faithfully. But most of our people in our organization have not let it go from their head to their heart. So because you know that you got to work as hard as you can to get it from out their head into their heart, and you know that confidence comes from accomplishments, and you know that momentum is built moment by moment, what are you going to do this moment connecting to the next moment to help them see income or activity? And the reason why I'm giving that, guys, is because when I ask how many people are hit these ranks, if there has not been a rank change or rank jump or anything else happening, I recognize keeping my finger on the pulse of the organization. There's a certain space that people are in. And I can talk to my own individual organization and grow my own organization, which I am. I've sponsored 4 new people like in the last couple of days myself. So people in my organization have sponsored people in my organization last couple. So I know that I'm growing my own personal organization. I know others on this call are adding new people to their teams and growing their own organizations. I know it. But I also know that on a big scale, if I ask how many people have hit these ranks, and some of you guys have requalified for the rank, and that's great too. Trust me, requalification is great as well, because that shows me that you're actively engaged in your process of building your business. But I also get that if there's not continued growth, there's something that's going on. And the great thing is this: it don't always mean that things are falling apart. That's not it. Because sometimes it can just be after coming off of one week, sometimes people go into another week of getting themselves back together. After one, like two or three strong weeks, it may take a week or two before people get back into a mode. But if you don't know what to do to get yourself back into that mode, if you don't know that what we do, we get paid to do a few things in this company, right? In this industry, we get paid for one, we get paid for retail, right? Write that down. We get paid to recruit. So we get paid to sell product. We get paid to recruit other people, and we also get paid when we promote. Promoters can get paid the most amount of money, because when you're promoting, you're talking to a lot of people and getting a lot of people to look at the information at one time. Right. And when you're talking to a lot of people and getting a lot of people engaged at one time, that means now you promote it, and you got like the several people that I've just sponsored this week. It came from me promoting an event. I promoted and said, get on to this because this is happening. And I promoted that right there. But so out of all the people I promoted it to, only about 4 or 5 of them joined. Out of all the people I promoted, because I know that I can do retail, I can recruit some people, or I can promote people, and not a big promotion. I'm going to do retail and I'm going to recruit. But if I retail, I'm doing one, maybe a lot of times it's hand to hand. I'm recruiting, and maybe hand in hand, maybe 1 or 2 people that I'm talking to, because you may only have one person invited to a call, 1, 2 people invited to the call. And let me help you understand this. Write this down, right? I always teach this in this capacity for promotions when it comes to these calls. When we've gone from doing the calls every day to doing once a week on Thursdays. That means now many of you who are on this call have to step up to be leaders. You have to step up and decide that you're going to be a leader yourself. Let me see if I can find something I want to kind of talk about. You have to step up and decide that you're going to be the leader. That means now that you're the leader, you're going to have to be willing to be one of the ones who's going to do presentations, who's going to have conversations, who's going to present to people, who's going to set things up. Now, the great thing about that this week, because when we leave this call, I need many of you guys getting off this call, calling your organization and scheduling personal calls with them, so you can absolutely start to add some new numbers to your organization. What's been happening is everybody was waiting for the calls to happen daily. Now, this is the thing. I understand the psychology. There's a psychology to how a lot of people do with this stuff, right? Because in this industry, you're going to have people who are customers. You're going to have people who are builders, all right? All right, and you're going to have people who are casual connectors, right? They're going to casually connect you to some people here and there. Now, the thing about casual connectors, there can be a call that happens every single day, but they will casually get somebody on the call this day. Then they'll be talking to somebody, may happen to say, oh yeah, I want to get some, yeah, I got a call going on. So 2 weeks later, they're on a call. 3 weeks later, they're on a call. They're casually connecting to people, but those casual connectors will get mad, Sonia, that there's no call happening tonight. Why ain't no call happening? Because you was casually connecting. You wasn't showing up. You was waiting until it was great for you to show up, and then you're looking for somebody to show up and mad that nobody doing a call, when if you have been understanding that every call was a training. Every call was designed to teach you to how to talk, how to communicate. The reason why I do launch calls in the very beginning is because I'm teaching people, write this down, there's a languaging in network marketing. There's a languaging in every business. There's a language that we must learn. And there's a language in how we talk about the products and how we explain the products. There's a language in how we talk about the compensation plan, because there's a language in it. Well, most people have to learn a new language, because when we start talking about binary, we start talking about director, we start talking about all these things, to somebody else is like, we're talking like Egyptian. It's like they're trying to translate hieroglyphs. This stuff don't matter to them. You say, yeah, you got to get director, you're going to get executive. They're like, yeah, because I'm going to get you director. When you get director, and you got your hands flying all over the place, Rebecca, they like, yeah, director. They're clueless. They're clueless, Mary. And we're talking a language that people have to learn. And because you have to understand, there's a language. When we're on these calls and we're training and we're teaching you the language of the business. We're teaching you how to communicate. So when we've been doing these opportunity calls every day, and now they're going to only once a week, what's going to happen in between that? Yes, you can get people onto the bigger opportunity calls on Thursday and wait all week and wait for Thursday. You wait for Friday to go by. You wait for Saturday to go by. Is Thursday yet? No. It's just Monday. Okay, it's Monday to go by. It's Tuesday to go by. You wait for Wednesday to go by. Then Thursday finally get here. You didn't invited one person to the call. That person don't show up to the call, so you got 0 for the week, and now you wait for Friday to go by. Wait for Saturday to go by. Sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. You sit here wasting time, sitting on the dock of the bay, doing nothing all week. We've been teaching you, I've been saying momentum is built moment by moment, and we've been literally doing presentations to teach how to present, how to show up, all the things that we did, all the challenges, all this other stuff. You cannot just be participating. You have to be paying. Listen, from this point on, I want you to, when you're on these calls, because I'm a coach like in real life, right? I coach people like a life coach. I have a 12-month cycle that I work with clients on. Coaching is asking questions. Mentorship is me giving you directions and things like that. But coaching, I ask a lot of questions. And the questions, people already have the answers, but learning to ask better questions, learning to work alongside people to help them become more. All these things that I do, right? But I understand that in this process of working with people and coaching people, learning to observe yourself, learning to observe, write this down. I want you to learn to observe, but then I want you to observe the observer. That means I want you to learn to observe and watch how we're doing presentations, but I also want you to watch yourself, how you're watching. Observe the observer, Rebecca, because when you start paying attention to how you're showing up, paying attention to if you're learning, if you're learning with the intention of teaching, write that down. Learn with the intention of teaching. Don't just watch it. Everything is learned with the intention on teaching or doing. And when you're learning with the intention on teaching or doing, now you're more focused. You're taking notes. You're writing down things that seem to be like small, minute details, but you're writing them down because in your mind, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it this way. And now you're learning to teach. Listen, Nikki said at the very beginning, you gotta, leaders take notes, leaders study notes, and leaders implement the notes. And many of us on this call have not been in the implementation mode. We've just been in a watch mode. And because we've been casually connecting people to a call that happens now once a week, or you had an opportunity every day to learn, and then every day we may say, somebody talk about the product. I don't know how to talk about the products. Yes, you do. You done heard many people talking about the products. All you got to do is say what they say. When they're talking the compensation plan, say what they say. But this has to be a week, when we hop off this call today, that you get with your organization and your people, and you get them ready for this week. You get them ready for you doing presentations for them this week. Rebecca, you understanding that when you having conversations with people, a lot of times it's as simple as you knowing that to get people going, you want to, I follow this a lot of times when I'm having a conversation. Write this down, A, B, C, D, E. A, B, C, D, E. A lot of times, Mary, before I actually sponsor people, or before I do a presentation, a lot of times when we get somebody on a call, we just trying to get to the presentation because we don't know what to talk about. We don't know what to say. You were like, hey, I will get on a call. So what's going on? Yeah, I want to just tell you about this company I'm involved with because people making a lot of money and the product's working and the product's feeling good, but you have no clue about the person, why they will want to do something like this, how this can empower and impact their lives. You're like literally clueless in the process. So you're trying to present to them and you're trying to do a presentation. And in the presentation that you're doing with them, they don't know what they're hearing you, but you haven't even heard anything that they're talking about. So you're missing the entire point. So A is act. Write that down, act, A-T. So a lot of times when I start talking to people, before I actually get into the presentation, a lot of times I'll ask a person, I said, so tell me, I said, so where you at in your life right now? What's going on where you at in your life right now? What's going on? What's happening? Like, what do you do? Where you at in your life? What do you do for work? Tell me about your family. See, we talk about form, family, occupation, recreation, and things like that. But asking, so where you at in your life? It helps me to understand where the person is at, Mary. Before I start going into everything else, I want to know where you at. Where you at in your life? Okay. So now the thing is this: when people start telling you where they're at, when they start telling you, well, I have a job, I'm doing this right here, I'm working 2 jobs, you got to be taking little notes on things that they're talking about. Because when they're talking, Rebecca, a lot of times they're giving you the reasons why they need to do something like this. But if you're trying to present to them based off of what's important to you, and that's what's important to them, you're missing the mark. So I'm asking questions like, where you at in your life, so I can know where you at, what you got going on, so I can know how, like you start saying you got children. Oh, tell me what's going on with your kids? What school they go to? Are they in college? Blah, blah, blah. When I start asking questions, they'll tell me if their kids are in college, if their kids locked up. They'll start telling you different things they got going on. They'll tell you if they got grandkids. They'll tell you if they just, and also I like to go live when I'm talking to people. I say, have your camera on. The reason why, because when I say, so tell me where you at in your life, Rebecca, and they be like this, I normally know they went up into their head. They're like, there's some pressure. There's some stuff they have going on. And I'd be like, I said, so what was that? What was what? I said, I saw you like, they be like, man, it's just so hard out here. And I'm trying to figure out. So now I'm writing all these things down because I have to have them selling themselves on why this business would be important. Am I making sense? So asking where a person is at. So great. I understand all those things. I understand. Listen, all those things make sense. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you can relate to them by building rapport. I know how you feel because I felt the same way myself and my kids when I got a chance to do this right here, blah, blah, blah. And you kind of find a way of how you can relate to them in that process. Then after you go from where you at in your life, so what do you want to be at? Like in the next 6 months, if you could change a thing, anything you talked about, if you can change any of those things, something could be different for you in the next 6 months, 3 months, 6 months, or a year. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what would you like to be at? Basically, you say you're at right now, what would you like to be at? So that's B. B is B. What would you like to be in the next? They'd be like, now you see them going from this, they're going, a lot of times they'll go into the smile. Man, if I can just be, and if I can just, and now it went from them telling you where they at, where they was in a sunken place, where you're able to connect and build some rapport, to having some conversations to where they can start to have hope, because I told you hope is the only thing stronger than fear. A lot of times they have hopelessness. And when people have hopelessness, they have given up. Because when you have hopelessness, you can't lead. When you have hopelessness, you don't want to talk. When you don't have hopelessness, you can be depressed. When you have, even when I'm talking right now, I have hopelessness, you're breathing shallow. You don't even want to show up. But when you start talking about where you want to be, and it gives you an opportunity to hear something different, and just put yourself, because now I'm putting you into a possibility state. Write that down. I'm putting you from coaching as a possibility state, which is why I ask you, so where you want to be, what's possible? Getting them to think about what's possible. What's possible. And when a person starts to go into a possibility stage, and they start to go into having hope again, by me asking where you want to be in the next 6 months, the next year. If you can change anything in the next 3 months, I mean, financially, what would you like to be at? Would you like to be with that situation? You got no time. Because you told me you have no time. So what would you like to be? What does that look like for you to have more time? When you say, I want more time, well, what would that look like for you when you want more time? What would more time look like for you? What would you do with that more time? Write that down. When people tell you, okay, what would that look like? Well, I haven't got no time. So what if you have more time? What would that look like? What would you do with more time? Asking questions, get somebody to go, now they're going, man, I have more time. What more money? What would that look like if you have more money? Man, if I have more money, oh my God, you have no idea what that. Ask people who I've done three-way calls with. You'll hear when I be doing three-way calls with people, a lot of times, by the time they'll tell me, well, no, the person said no. I'm like, let's do a three-way. I'm having a three-way call. I'm asking questions. By the time I'm done, they're like, you know what? Yeah, I want to do this. I know a lot of times we think that, well, the person don't want to talk to nobody. They don't want to do it because you know why they want to talk to you? Because it's an easy way out. They rather talk to you because they know they can tell you no and know you're a good friend. And as a good friend, you're going to pat them on the back. Don't worry about it, Mary. Don't worry about it, girl. I understand, Rebecca. You good, girl. Keep your head up, girl. You good. And we want people to pat us on the back, Mary. Oh, don't worry about it, girl. You good, girl. You know what? You're going to be okay, girl. You're going to be okay. Keep your chin up. Keep your chin up. Yeah, because it's so hard out here, rough. It's just tough. We people love that. But a friend's going to keep you where you at. A coach is going to stretch you. And people don't always want to talk to the coach because they want the coach to stretch them. They want to stay where they're at. They want to stay because we don't get depressed. We do depressed a lot of times. Breathing shallow, breathing, you know what I'm saying, looking down, shoulders slumped down. We do depressed. So because of that, when I'm asking where we want to be, I'm taking for this and going, possibility. What's possible? From possibility, I go into change. See, which is change. Well, listen, to make those things that you said, that's for possibility for that right there, you got to change some things. People always say they want to make a change, but they got to really decide you want to change. Like, what are some of the things you want to change to make that happen? Or you want to make some changes in your life? Based on what you've been doing, you've been getting the same results. Are you willing to make a change to make something different? To change, listen, are you just ready to make a change? They'd be like, yeah, man, I got to. Because now they're going from where they was at to where they want to be at. Now when they change, they're like, yeah, because now they grappling. They're like, man, I got to do something because he's right. Because I can't keep staying right here. I can't keep staying in the same place. I can't keep living the same life. I can't keep going through the same process because all these things that I'm working for, when I'm doing this right here, is two things. When I coach people, right, I have like a 12-month master cycle that I work with people, right? And this 12-month master cycle, like 90-day master cycles. So in this 12-month program, 90-day master cycles, in 30 days, I work with people based on different things. The first thing I focus on is discovery. And in discovery, when I work with people in discovery, I'm focusing on their identity and awareness. Write that down. A person's self-identity, how they see themselves, all based off of life experiences, situations, their personal way of how they look at themselves. I like to ask these things and say these things so they can actually address some things with themselves. I want to make sure that a person is asking themselves the right questions of themselves and understanding the conflicts that they have with themselves. Because you say you want to make more money, but how long you been living like that? How long you been living like that? How long do you want to continue living that way? How long you been like that? Well, I got these dreams and goals, and I want to be able to do this. How long you had that plan for doing that business, for making that money? Well, for 2 years, you're working on that for 2 years and you haven't done it yet. Why haven't you done it yet? What has been stopping you from getting that done? What has been holding you back so far? Me, honestly, me. So that's why when you start asking about making a change, I'm trying to make sure that I have them having conflict with their identity, how they've been showing up based off of what they believe about themselves. I'm doing things, asking questions to bring in awareness of self, so they can, once you're aware of a thing, you can let me step over this. Oh, I didn't see that there. Oh, let me step here. Oh, when I walk past it, there's a little piece right here. And be careful walking by that right there because there's a little edge. Like for instance, when I'm with my kids, right? Oh, my grandkids. Something may fall on the floor. Well, let's say I'm sitting right here at the desk and something falls on the floor. My grandkids bend down to pick it up. My awareness will have me put my hand under the desk right there. So if they sit back up, they'll hit my hand. You know why? Because I don't just go, that'll learn you. No, I'm not going to let them knock themselves out, put a gash in the head. That'll learn you. No, I'm going to put my hand here because I know from my awareness that I have put my head up and knock myself almost unconscious. That I too got a scar in the back of my head based on how nothing or nobody was there to protect me. I'm aware. So once you have been aware of the things that have yielded these scars for a person, now once I have asked them where you at in your life, what do you want to be? What change you want to make some changes? I go into D, decide. Well, you understand, to make those things happen, you got to have to make a decision. Are you in a place right now in your life where you're ready to make a decision to change? Are you ready to make a true decision to change your situation? Because only with the deciding means something has to die. That means you have to cut off. You have to stop. That has to, no longer can you live that way because now you're going to only live this way. Now you no longer stay into what was and what used to be and all this other stuff. Now we're focusing on possibility. We have to be able to decide these cutting off. That's decide suicide. Oh, you have to cut that off. Decide. You have to cut off and bring death to that in order to give life to this. So deciding is a conscious thought. Anything less reduces us to levels of almost an animal with less to deal with, because animals are instinctually sound, and we have traded off instinct for intellect. So all the people who believe they are so much more intellectual, we have to make a decision to change. We can't just change. We have to decide. And once you make the decision, there is no going back. We make a decision that only moving forward. So once the person says, "Yeah, I'm going to make some changes, man. You're right. Yes, I am in a place. I got to decide to do something different." Well, great. Let me share you what I'm doing. That's everything else. Let me share with you. Then I'll go into the presentation. Then I'll talk with them about stuff. Then I'll go into everything else. Because now when I'm talking about the presentation, the products, and the compensation plan, they can see themselves in it based off of all the questions that I asked, what they had going on in their life, how this can help them fix their situation, their challenges. All these things are important. So I need all of you to download your presentation and get the presentation. We have videos on the Rebirth University. You can watch a video and just now watch the video with the intention that you're going to present. Not learn how to present, you're going to present. Just watch it with the intention to present. So when you're watching it, you're taking key notes. Because trust me, listen, guys, I don't remember everything. I do my best, Nikki. I be doing my best. I do my best to remember everything, but I don't always remember everything. If you start asking me what's inside the NutriBurst, I remember there's a certain amount of vitamins, a certain amount of minerals, a certain amount of vitamin. Some people remember that. I can open the mic right now. I promise you, soon you're gonna go. It's 72 phytonutrients, 13 amino acids. They at the top of their head, they just know it. Me myself, I start saying numbers. I'm confusing minerals with vitamins. So a lot of times when I do the presentations, I have stuff in front of me, because I have to set it up, because if not, I'll forget. So I'll put things all around. Some of you guys see me like this, but I be having papers all over the place because that's how I get down. And it's okay. You got me? So when I know I have to help me, you got to know it's okay to have stuff out. There's people who I see, they'll do interviews and podcasts, and they go top of their head. You're like, oh my God, they're so amazing. But then I see other people doing podcasts. They'll be like this. So let me ask you a question. And they're not afraid to just read stuff that they got written down, and they'll let you see they're reading it. They're not trying to act as if. So it's okay for you to have. I know. Listen, you too, Bobby. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I wish I had my things around me, man. But I'm always. God, listen, I be having something. Look, I always got something written down, or notebooks and note papers and something somewhere all the time. Something. And 7 years ago, behind the scenes, I'm like, yo, I gotta get it how I gotta get it. And you have to understand that you will be okay. Get the presentation, download it. When you start talking about the product, I'm normally reading stuff from either what's on the screen or I'm reading the bottle. You ask me what's in the NutriBurst, I'm like, oh yeah. If I got vitamin A, C, D, E, biotin. A lot of times I don't say riboflavin because I don't want nobody to go, what's that? I'm like, so I see riboflavin. I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna say that one. I'm not gonna say that right there. I'm not gonna say folate. They be like, what's that? I'm like, it says here it's for 1 second. I was saying I have to listen, you guys know I'm 58. So by the time I be like this, I have to be like this. Hold on, let me see something right quick. It says right here. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you got to do, you have to have everything perfect. They don't know what they don't know. You have to be willing to just execute. And once you say, I'm gonna download the presentation today, I'm gonna actually start to schedule some events with people today. I'm gonna do some calls with people today, and just go to work and do it. When we get the call, I want to write this down. Schedule four calls with your people today. 4 calls this week, minimum of four Zoom calls, 4 home parties. If you're local with somebody, just say, I'm gonna come by your house and invite people over. Just do it. Just just do it. Put it on your calendar, the minimum of 4. And then also I want you to do this right here. Some of you guys today have not even gone live on social media. Just put down, you're gonna find like 4 people this week to go live with on social media. Write that down. Rebecca, you hit anybody? Hey, let's go live on Instagram. Let's go live on Facebook. Let's go live. Let's just do it. Don't worry. Listen, just do it. Don't worry about it. Don't overthink it. A lot of times, once I go live, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Some people are so structured out, it don't flow that way for me. The kid just, even right now, when I say I'm gonna do the call, I don't know what direction I was gonna take on the call today. It's going, but because I keep my finger on the pulse of the organization, if there's no, I base it on, this conversation is based off of me seeing that there wasn't no new apprentice, directors, rising star, executives. So based off of that, people need to know how to communicate. So I gave you communication skills. People need to present. So I told you to present. People need to have some activity. So I told you to actually get some activity with your, that's what people need. That's why I coached on that in the very beginning. I know everybody, he all over the place. No, I'm not. I understand exactly where I'm headed to with the process, because I recognize, based off of my finger on the pulse of the organization, there's so much that people need, but I have to make sure that because by this next week, this is the key thing. Next week, I want us all to be on the next week's call, when Sonia probably do the next week's call, where we all this is a brand new apprentice, this is a brand new director, this is a brand new executive. We got 1 week. We can do anything for 1 week, Rebecca. 1 week, turn your 2 into 4. Turn your 2 into 6. Just turn it. Just do it. You got 1 week. We can do anything for 1 week. We got 7 days. To next Saturday. We got up until Thursday to hit the ranks. So we got until now to next Saturday. You can get somebody binary qualified by next Friday, but that's going to happen by next Thursday. Friday is the first of the work week. Thursday is the end of the work week. So you got 1 week to level up. 1 week to do calls. 1 week to do some training. 1 week to go live. Because what's going to happen is this. Once you do that with people, once you get your calendar out and you schedule some presentations with people, because you got the call today, you download the presentation, you watch some of the videos, you watch some of the one that Sonia did, some of the different people did, you took some notes on stuff. You say, okay, I'm going to do the presentation like this. I'm just going to share it this way. And then after that, now you got some home parties, you got some Zoom calls, other things that you got set up already. Just go ahead and schedule those things out. And then after that, now you put somebody in it. Put it on your calendar first, the days you got, then find somebody to put in the calendar. Just do it. Put it on your calendar, the days you're going to do it, and then find some people to put in the calendar at that space. And then the universe will give you, God will give you. You'll find what you need to find in order to make that happen. That's what you need to do in that space right there. All right? So that's how I want you guys to focus on this week right here, because this coming week, and then of course, as you guys are actually adding new people to the business, put them into the rebirth. So we can congratulate, welcome them to the team. Make sure that when they get binary qualified, put the banner so you can inspire somebody else to get it done. All right. I know we posted that you went, Rebecca. Did you post the banner in there already? The binary banner, Rebecca?
No, I didn't post. I know Latasha said something about me, and then yeah, I haven't did the binary qualified banner.
Just get the banner. So take pride in that right there. Take pride, and then so we can post it so other people can be inspired by it. All right. Thank you so much for that right there. And that's it. So every time we get somebody binary this week, just post that banner so other people can be inspired. Somebody goes director, post that banner so they can be inspired. Don't always wait until the end of the work week in order for you to say, because you know why we'll hit our rank at the end of the work week, because that's the goal and the deadline that we gave ourselves. Write that down. People know we need a goal and a deadline. The reason why people actually hit director at the end of a week because they have a goal. Then at the end of the week, because they have a deadline by the end of the week. You know why some people get it done today is because they have a goal today and have a deadline today. Start demanding more for yourself, because as I start to call off, people need daily paychecks. They need some weekly activity, but have to have daily activity against the weekly activity. Put yourself in a space, because our compensation plan creates the behavior that people can sell these products and earn income daily. And once they make money daily, they can start putting that money back in with them plus other people until their business start earning income weekly. People can go to your website and purchase. When you start going live, you can tell somebody, click the link in the bio, click our link right now. They can actually purchase. You can go live and tell them that you're selling 5 for $35. You can tell them, you can go live and tell them that you're supporting this mission in Kenya. You can go live and let them know all the things that's happening for people to hear it. And from that, like I got people in my group, the group call this week that I was like, let me have Latasha Watt Williams talk to my group, and she talked to the group, and she's talking about the Kenyan mission. And people on my team has already used that to, because again, everybody going to always do everything? No. Everybody's not going to go binary. Everybody's not going to sell a product. Everybody's not going to do everything all the time. But a lot of times it takes one person to inspire somebody else. One to spark something that gets everybody. Because all it is, I'm looking for people, whatever a person can find inside themselves to get themselves into that state, into that space, I'm willing to do it. And that's the reason why, because even in my coaching cycle, after I go from those two things, I'm not going to go to training that. But the next thing that I really focus on is I want people to have a reflection of the way life used to be. I want people to reflect. And when they reflect, part of that reflection is your emotional state and your presence. I want people to get back into how you feel. The law of attraction is superseded by the law of vibration, and the vibration is what you feel. So sometimes the emotional state, it has to be something else other than just yourself. If you have to have a mission, something that connects to your purpose, to get you to show up other than, because again, people always say, this is my why, but then the same reason they told me why they do the business is why they stopped doing the business. Well, I got to do the job, and I tell you I got 12 jobs, and I tell you I got 4, and I can't show up for this call because I told you in the very beginning, but you also told me when you joined, this was a gift from God. You also told me you just joined. Oh my God, I promise you, that's confirmation. And then a week later, they're gone. People do this all the time. They do it all the time. They'll quote. They'll be masters at quoting and masters at Facebook philosophy, Instagram philosophy, masters at putting all this stuff, and you be like, oh my God, you deep. And they'll be the first ones to quit. They'll be like these Facebook philosophers and all this other stuff. And as soon as, well, I told you life is hard. I told you. I know life is life. Stop acting like life is life. It is life. And life has a key to your door. And when it comes in the front door, you got to be going out the back door because you got things to do. Stop letting life be the reason why you don't do the business, and life be the reason that you do it. Life be the reason why you show up. Life be the reason why you choose to live. Life is living. Life is not death. That's not life. Life is living. So choose to live to your highest capacity. Choose to live to the highest caliber of you. Choose to make a stance in your purpose. I know people all the time. We'll say, oh, this is my why, this is my thing. Listen, I understand you. I want you to attach it to your purpose. So find something that you can have a purposeful life. Because we can have vision. Vision pushes you. Purpose pulls you forward. Write that down. Vision pushes you. Purpose pulls you. And I recognize sometimes in our vision can be blurred. Vision is what, even though we see with sight with our eyes, but vision is what you see in your mind's eye. But sometimes even in your mind's eye, vision can sometimes get blurred. And as your vision gets blurry, your purpose will pull you forward no matter, even if your vision gets blurred. It's important that we learn to live a purposeful life. So to get yourself back into that emotional state, that you find you're living purposefully, it's something you're committed to, a promise that you made to yourself, to your family, to your children, to your God, whatever that is, decide Deciding is a conscious thought, decide. And once you make that decision, and you're going to cut off everything else that's not, and you will focus on everything else that should, could, would, I am. This you focus on that right there. Let that purposeful life pull you forward. So now when you're showing up on these calls and you're showing up and you're saying, let me hop off this and let me watch this presentation so I can do it. Let me download this compensation plan so I can teach it. Let me do this live just so I can show the universe that I'm showing up. I'm showing up for myself. I'm showing up. I don't want you just standing. I'm here, Mr. Scott. I'm here. I'm okay. I'm hanging in there. I don't want you hanging, because hanging ultimately leads to death. So I don't want you hanging in there. I want you to stand up in it. I want you to show up and show out. So that's today's training. Today is designed to get people to getting some activity going. You got 1 week. Next Saturday, when we get on these calls, I want to make sure we're talking about those who got binary qualified, those who hit apprentice, those who hit director. You don't need another 6 steps to this and 7 keys to this. Keys can get broken off into doors. Keys can be lost. That's why some of you guys I need the keys. That's why you still ain't doing it, because you done broke the key off in the daggone ignition. You can't even start it because you done broke the key off. I want you to have these practices. Practice. Just practice it. Practice the process. Practice. That's why we're doing it. So, because as you start to practice, you'll get better. And when you practice the right things, you get better at the right things. Practice the wrong thing, get better at the wrong thing. So, but we're giving you the right things to practice, because practice makes permanent. And if you practice the right things, the right things will become permanent for you. And we're looking for the right things to become permanent. Am I making sense, Mary? Am I making sense, Rebecca? Am I making sense to you guys, Patricia? So I appreciate you guys who logged on to the call. You guys got some assignments. Plug in, download presentation, schedule calls, schedule live calls with your people this week. Get some activity going. Once you do it with one person, call somebody else and do it with somebody else. Sometimes 2 or 3, 4 people can be on a live and go live together and have a great time. We do it on TikTok all the time. It'll be 1 or 2 people. Now we got a bunch of people logging in and saying stuff, and now people clicking everything. New people being introduced to new people all the time. We don't know. One person who's been watching you for a while just want to know that you're willing to step up and stand out before they join you. They don't want to be doing business with nobody who's a secret squirrel. They're looking to find people who want to be stand out, who's going to stand up in it, and not just be behind the scenes working quietly. I'm here, I'm working behind the scenes quiet. That is not leadership. That's not a flex. I'm behind the scenes and working. I'm real quiet, but just know I'm quiet. But that's not leadership. We all bring value to the organization. We all bring value to the team. We all bring our voices. And my voice may not be the strongest voice. That one voice that somebody says, and the last thing that somebody says could be the squeakiest of the voices. And I said, what was the best thing you like about it? When that one young lady said this at the very end. When that one young person did this today. When that person went live, it inspired me to do this today. So let this be the day that we step up and we stand out. So I appreciate all you guys who logged on to this call. I pray that it brought some value to you guys today. I could have did a bunch of things. There was a bunch of trainings I thought about doing, but I'm like, nope, they need this right here, right now. So as I wrap up the call, do I have any leaders that have any last minute comments, statements, anything they want to be able to share before we're done? Anybody got anything they want to share from the call today? Open up your mics. Mics is open.
Mr. Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
Amazing training. Just so you know, my stomach is really hurting from laughing. Like, I was not expected to be laughing this hard this morning. But one thing that I took away, well, there are a few things that I took away. But the main thing is vision pushes and purpose pulls. Vision pushes and purpose pulls. Vision pushes and purpose pulls. Listen, that really resonated because things happen, life happens, situations come into your life. You may think one thing is going to take place and something else takes place. People come into your business that you think they're about to be a superstar and they turn into a super secret squirrel. All these things happen. So sometimes your vision shifts. But when you have a purpose, your purpose is what's going to keep you going and keep you growing. So that's so important for us to understand. Even though things may change and situations may change and people may change and everything is happening around you, you can't worry about that. We can't worry about that because we have a goal, we have a purpose. So that's all I wanted to add. That's really what stuck with my spirit today. Moving forward, just understanding that sometimes, especially when you get a little older, you know, your vision ain't 2020. It's not always 2020, and we need a little help sometimes. But even with that, even when we got to put our spectacles on, okay, when we got to put our spectacles on, right? The purpose is not gonna change. So I'll turn it back over to you, sir.
No doubt. Sometimes how we gotta do it, Natasha Watt. Sometimes we gotta put let me see here, right here. So I appreciate you, lady, for just sharing that. Ms. Nikki Alexandria, thank you so much for that. Natasha Watt, you have something you want to share, young lady?
Yes, I just wanted to first say thank you, Jason L. Scott the first, for coming through. I just said, like, this is my big brother over here. He talking my talk. You know, you just brought it plainly. If we want it, we're going to have to go and get it. And anytime you've lived a little bit of life, you already know life is no life. So we got to take those things off of our tongue. There's going to be deaths, there's going to be sicknesses, there's going to be emergencies, there's going to be the kids did this, the spouse did that, all of that. But this is not about what happens to you. It's about how you grow through that thing and how you come out on the other side. And that is why there are 1%ers and 2%ers in the world. Everybody goes through life, but the ones who stand out are the ones that you hear about. And either you want to be a watcher or you want to be a participator. And so I just thank you. And I wanted to personally come on here and congratulate Rebecca. I met Rebecca in Las Vegas just a few months. And my husband is hearing this. I said, Rebecca is binary qualified. She wasn't even in the business yet. She wasn't even looking at total life changes. And we were in a transition from another company. And to hear that she's binary qualified really made me excited. And so I want everybody here to know that you don't have to take a large leaps, but you should start moving. And I love what you said, Jason, because we get emotional from these types of calls. And we got the amen corner going on, Jason. But if you're in the same place next week, then we need to check our emotions versus our execution. So next week when we have this call and we're celebrating, we'll see really how this call prompted us to execute. And so I won't even be in the same place next week. It doesn't mean that I'm going to rank up. It doesn't mean that I made $1 million more. It's just different. This call for a call to action and not to just be. I thank you so much for this call. And I thank you again for even allowing me to come on with your team the other night, because you would go in the industry. And so I honor you and I thank you.
Thank you so much, young lady. I appreciate you as well for just sharing that as well, you know, because these, like I said, it's important. One thing you hit on just now is what we're going to do next week. This business will promote you. Write this down. This business will promote you or expose you. This business will promote you or expose you. So because it will promote you, I'm saying if you doing the work that they got to do, you're gonna get promotions. Or like she says, it's gonna expose us to just sitting back and sitting still and doing nothing. I don't want to show up next week the same. I don't want. It's like going to an event, Nikki and Latasha. You get to the next event when you knew you should have ranked up. It's almost be embarrassing to watch other people walk the stage when you know. You say to yourself, man, what the heck have I been doing? I know I'm supposed to be better than this. I know I'm bigger. I know I should be there as well. So thank you for that share as well. Sonia, I think I see your hand up, young lady.
Yes. Well, thank you, Mr. Jason L. Scott the first. I just love your trainings. I love how you actually deliver the information. But I'm not going to be long. I just want to say everything that, Nikki and Latasha said, spot on. But one thing, everything resonated with myself and the hustler. But this is the thing. When you said that, when today you didn't know what, but God put this on your heart, this was the perfect training. Because as you said about, as a lot of time people wait for an opportunity call. Now that we're doing them once a week, it's time to step up. I love that part of the training because it is time to step up. It's time to, like you say, just read the information, put it in your own personality, but don't wait on, your leaders to actually do the call. Now that we're doing them once a week, build up for once a week. But in the interim, we all got to say, okay, what are we doing? Everything you said, I was like, man, Jay and I was like, man, spot on, spot on, spot on. So this was well needed. I love the fact that you said this was basically what the organization as a Rebirth we all need for this particular week, because no apprentices, no directors, no rising stars, whatever. But hey, you're right. It's almost embarrassing to to come back next week and say, okay, what have all of us done? But it's time for other people that's a part of the organization to step up and learn this presentation. The information is right there. So that's all I have. But thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to come on. Phenomenal, phenomenal job this morning. You always do good, but it was well needed, everything. Thank you, Mr. Scott, Jason F. Scott the first.
Good stuff, lady. Listen, I appreciate you as well. I have the highest level of respect for you and the hubby. You guys are true friends, and not just business partners, but like a lot of respect for you guys. We helped each other in different areas, in different ways, but you guys have brought a tremendous value to me in my life, and so I appreciate you as well. So, guys, that's it for today's information training. We got some info, but we also got some. I gave you guys a time frame. I gave you a goal and a deadline. So just get off the calls, do the things we said. If you say you're going to do it, commitment is doing the things you say you were going to do long after the mood that you have set it in has left you. So don't get off the call and just be excited. Get off the call, hop on, download what you got to download, watch some videos, put your calendar in place, schedule some calls, schedule some one-on-ones, A, B, C, D, E with people, have some one-on-one conversations, add them to the process, invite them to the next Thursday call with their guests. Just know you have a plan, a goal, and a deadline, and come back to next week's Saturday training with some brand new binary qualified people, apprentices, directors, and above. I love each and every one of you guys. Always remember, given the sum total of all your decisions, you cannot change who you are, but given new life, new vision, new unity, you can change who you become. So with that, today, not tomorrow, but like right now, let's all just become. You guys have a powerful and prosperous new you. Good day, everybody. Open your mics, say good day. See you guys soon.
Thank you, Jason.
Great day, great day.
Thank
Good day, good day.
That was awesome.
Absolute
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes.
Have a good day. Have a good
Yes.
day.
Yeah.